The first time the alien woman screamed at me, it wasn't in anger. It was in terror, and her guards raised their weapons at my heart. I stood frozen in the threshold of a chamber that wasn't meant for human eyes, breathing recycled starlight, realizing too late that I had opened the wrong door on the wrong level of the orbital city of Kepri-9. The air shimmered with heat. Bioluminescent walls pulsed like living skin. And there she was, tall, luminous, unmistakably alien, turning toward me with her ceremonial mantle unfastened, her biolattice armor disengaged. "You've seen me unclothed, human?" she hissed, pupils flaring like twin novas. "Now you must marry me, or they'll kill us both." That was the moment I understood how people died in alien diplomacy. And that was only the beginning. I was Caleb Ward, civilian xenolinguist, Earthborn, hired to translate during trade negotiations between humanity and the Solari Concord. I wasn't important. I wasn't powerful. I was supposed to be invisible. But invisibility fails when you stumble into a royal sanctum by mistake. The guards, 6 of them, mantis-like silhouettes of chrome and muscle, shifted into a firing arc. Their weapons hummed with restrained violence. I raised my hands, heart hammering, mind screaming for logic. This had to be a misunderstanding. But the woman, Princess Envoy Valeth of the Solari, stared at me not with rage, but with something worse. Fear. "You must not speak," she whispered urgently, stepping toward me. "Not yet. If they realize what you've seen, protocol demands execution. For both of us." What I saw next changed everything. I thought as her hand, warm, faintly glowing, closed around my wrist. She pulled me inside. The door sealed. The guards remained outside, suspicious but obedient. Inside the chamber, the silence roared. "I didn't mean to," I began. "It doesn't matter," she said, voice tight. "Among my people, to be seen in an unarmored state by a non-bonded being is to be claimed. Or disgraced." I swallowed. "So we explain?" Her laugh was brittle. "Explain to whom?" "The High Circle." They would not hear words. Only blood. That was my first lesson in Solari logic. Law above mercy. Protocol above life. Emotion irrelevant. Or so they claimed. Over the next hours, Valeth told me everything. How her species evolved with photonic skin structures that recorded memory through exposure. How intimacy, true intimacy, was encoded biologically, not emotionally. To be seen unclothed was not sexual, but existential. A surrender of self. And now I carried her imprint. But that was only the beginning, because the more she explained, the worse it became. If we did nothing, the guards would report. The High Circle would convene. Valeth would be executed for dishonor. I would be executed for contamination. Earth's fragile treaty would collapse. Possibly into war. There was one exception. Marriage. A binding right recognized across Solari society as a legal transformation. Not romance. Not love. A reclassification. From disgrace to union. "I don't even know you," I said quietly. Valeth met my eyes. "I know. And that terrifies me." The next day, rumors spread through Kepri-9. Whispers in languages that curled around the ears. The human. The princess. The mistake. Every corridor felt tighter. Every glance heavier. I tried to back out. I begged the human delegation for extraction. They told me politely that I was already dead if I left the station. "They won't kill you publicly," the ambassador said, avoiding my eyes. "But they will erase you. We can't stop it." None of us were prepared for the truth. Valeth began visiting me under the guise of cultural familiarization. We spoke through shared meals and long silences. She asked about Earth. About oceans. About why humans made art from loss. I learned she never wanted to be a diplomat. That she dreamed of flying the deep void alone. That Solari royalty was a cage of light and obligation. Every 2 to 3 paragraphs my mind screamed a new question. How did I end up here? How did a wrong door become a death sentence? How could something so absurd feel so inevitable? Halfway through the cycle, the High Circle summoned us. That was the mid-story turn. The moment everything broke open. The chamber was vast. Gravity adjusted to Solari comfort. Elders floated in rings of light. Their voices spoke in harmony, ancient and cold. "The human is incompatible," they declared. "The union would weaken bloodlines." Valeth stiffened beside me. The law is clear, she replied. Exposure constitutes claim. A pause. A ripple of unease. Then the truth emerged. This wasn't about honor. It was about control. The circle feared what a human bond would represent. A breach. A symbol. Proof that Solari law could bend. That their rigidity was not absolute. We will allow the marriage, the elders finally said. But only as a trial. My heart sank. Trial. A ceremonial union, they continued, followed by dissolution through sacrifice. Valetha's hand tightened around mine. She didn't need to explain. I understood. They planned to kill me afterward. Or her. Or both. What I saw next changed everything. That night, Valeth came to my quarters without guards. Her glow was dimmer. Vulnerable. I won't let them take you, she said. I'm just a human, I replied. They'll win. She shook her head. You don't understand what you are. She revealed the final secret, the one buried beneath protocols and lies. Solari photonic biology didn't just record exposure. It adapted to emotional resonance. Something they had suppressed for millennia. Humans with our chaotic emotions triggered dormant pathways. Evolution they had outlawed. The circle feared humans because we reminded them of what they had lost. By marrying you, Valeth said, voice trembling, I changed my species. The ceremony was broadcast across the station. Across systems. I stood beside her beneath a canopy of living light, wearing garments that translated my heartbeat into color. My hands shook. Hers did not. When the binding completed, something rippled outward. A wave of resonance that no one expected. The elders cried out as their own photonic skins flickered, responding. Awakening. Panic erupted. Systems failed. Guards hesitated. In that chaos, Valeth turned to the circle and spoke words that would echo through history. You feared humans because they feel, she said. And because they choose. She chose me. Security forces moved, but Solari civilians blocked them. Changed. Awakened. The old law shattered in real time. The high circle fell. In the aftermath, treaties were rewritten. Not through dominance but partnership. Valeth and I stood together at the viewport weeks later, watching Kepri 9 orbit a blue-white star. I never planned to marry a human, she said softly. I smiled. I never planned to open that door. She looked at me, truly looked at me. Would you have chosen this? I thought of Earth. A fear. Of love born under pressure. Of a species learning to feel again. Yes, I said. I would. Her glow brightened, not protocol. Not law. Emotion. The final broadcast recorded her last words as princess, and first as something new. Humanity did not weaken us, she declared. They reminded us how to be alive. And as the stars turned slowly beyond the glass, I realized something profound. Sometimes the universe doesn't need conquerors. It needs someone brave enough to open the wrong door and stay.